know, like, okay, they got something that's good for SKT. They're happy with a lot of stuff, but we got...
Right, exactly. Blank space. Frosk?
Yeah, just closing thoughts on this draft. I actually really like the fact that the Tahm Kench came out earlier. Again, it is kind of awkward to slot Tahm Kench in there. You would assume that it would be an AD carry, but I feel like SKT were so intelligent in doing that, kind of opening up space. Like, there's a possibility that we could look for a low mobility AD carry like the Twitch in this case, and as soon as they saw that Shin, they're like, really nothing's gonna, you know, threaten our backline. Yeah, Kha'Zix could maybe fly in with the Shin ultimate, but we're pretty safe to pick it here.
Right, they got the go-ahead for it. Now, also before the game, we heard from Svenskeren and how he was looking forward to this matchup against Peanut. Well, guess what? Peanut gets the better of him 2 times in the first 7 minutes of this game. Kobe, let's talk about the junglers, because that's what you were putting the spotlight on at the beginning of the day.
Yeah, I talk a lot about, you know, how much thought all the teams have been putting into their early jungle routes and the past year. Svenskeren, this is something where you're just like, I wasn't expecting much, and you're still disappointed. We've seen so often from Svenskeren these invades, right, without support. And it was very risky to begin with, but then to return as well, and Peanut just absolutely takes any sort of lead and smashes him with it.
I will say this, to be a little bit spare for Spin, the first one, it turned into vertical jungling. You could see that he knew that Peanut was going to go for the blue buff. He thought that he had space to do it, but just overreached looking for the Wolf camp, and super heads-up play by Peanut to be like, I bet he's going to overreach for Wolf, and I bet I can find him around this corner.
And the lanes were there as well. Rumble was pushing and could come down, respond first. The shield was going to come in from Orianna. You're right, there could have been a better scenario, but the worst-case scenario came true.
Yeah, the whole point is, like, jungling, especially early on, is so team-oriented. It was before, it is even more so now. So it has to be all of them really working for plays like this.
Now that's specifically the jungle matchup. Let's take a look at the top lane matchup, because Hauntzer has been super vocal about wanting to show up on the international stage. Well, if you're going to do it against anyone, Huni would be the person to do it against. But this replay here brought to you by Acer. Huni with a big flash outplay in the 2v1.
And we're in Brazil, the land of the virtuoso soccer players. We're used to outplays. The flash from Huni to begin it is just amazing. Opening up space. Then there's Peanut. These are the 2 new members in the team. These are the flair that SKT didn't really have in their 2016 version, and now they can have outplays upon outplays, and that was just a sample of some of the great outplays in this game.
And again, look at Huni's damage dealt to champions. We were talking about that stat that popped up in the game, like 890 damage.
890 DPM on average. He had a game where he got 85,000 damage dealt as Rumble against KT Rolster, one of the best teams in the world. He's probably our
See the light, you know, Hauntzer went towards the cannon, and this is like a big gap. We talked about at the very beginning of this tournament, you know, we want these top laners to move towards more of these fighter-style picks, the Rumbles, the Cannons, the Fizzes, and it feels like Huni's stepping up and doing it, and that kind of puts him that cut above, as well as his individual skill. But the fact that Hauntzer goes back towards those tank players, I don't want it. Like, step up to the plate, step up to the challenge.
And that's where we call into question whether or not Hauntzer has enough picks available to him throughout this tournament to continue reaching into that deep pocket. Kobe, final thoughts here?
I think he definitely does have the picks, and a lot of people are going to be like, oh yeah, Hauntzer, why is he picking the Shen? But obviously these are team decisions, you know, and a lot of it does come down to coaching staff as well.
Very much so. All right, well, for the inside story on that game, we're going to check in with Shox and SKT's mid laner.
Thank you very much, guys. Indeed, joined by the one and only Faker. SKT going 3-0 so far here in the group stage. And I know that the best of ones were